Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So, I'm finally getting around to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, the 2023 one that came out 30 years after the original Mario movie from '93, starring Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, and Seth Rogen. With help of Princess Peach, Mario gets ready to square off against the all-powerful Bowser to stop his plans from conquering the world and saving his brother Luigi. So, I'm a huge Mario fan. If you guys don't know, I have an NES back home. I have the original Super Mario on there. I have Super Mario 3. I have Super Mario Power Tennis for the Wii. I loved playing Mario Kart at my cousin's house. I have Mario and Sonic Winter Olympic Games. And I think that those are real good games, and I had high expectations for this movie, especially when you looked at the cast going in. Like, I'm a big fan of Chris Pratt. Obviously, you guys know I'm a big Marvel fan. I love him as Star-Lord, so I was really excited to see him as Mario. I'm a big Jack Black fan. I love School of Rock. I love his Gulliver's Travels. I love the Jumanji movies he's been a part of, so I was excited that he was going to be Bowser. I didn't know Charlie Day at the time, even though I didn't realise that he was Benny in the Lego movie. I didn't know about Antonio Joy, but the main cast, those two in particular, Chris Pratt and Jack Black, those two mainly got me excited to see this movie. So me and Dad went to see it, and I kid you not, I loved this movie. I really did. I think that this movie, there's 3 MVPs for me in this movie. Obviously, Chris Pratt as Mario. I think they did a really good Mario. I think that it's better than what you have expected. Because there was actually theories going around that they haven't shown a lot of Mario's voice in the trailers because they think that it's not really that good. But it actually is good, so that's a relief. Jack Black as Bowser, I love him as Bowser. There's a lot of musical numbers which you kind of expect from a Jack Black role like that, especially when he comes from things like Tenacious D and he did like School of Rock and that sort of stuff. So you kind of expect that from a Jack Black role. I actually really liked Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong. When I was like, oh, he's doing Donkey Kong, I don't know how I feel about that. But when I watched the movie, I actually really liked him as Donkey Kong, and I thought that there was some really good stuff there with Mario and Donkey Kong. I really like the way that they threw in the sound effects from the original game. So like when they go through or up a part, you actually hear the dum dum dum. That gave me chills in the theater. I was like, oh my god. And I think that's one of those things too, where it's like you hear different things from the games, whether if it's the pipe noise or it's the the sound effects from when you're like kicking a shell or whatever, or you're getting a star or something like that. I really like the way that they use 2D platforming in this movie. Not to spoil anything, but I didn't know if they were going to do like 2D kind of platformer type stuff, but they actually did. They did like a very Mario thing to do where you actually had the 2D side scroll, but they actually do it except for doing a montage and they show them just running to get to this job, they actually do the 2D platforming of how they got to that place. So I thought that was really cool that they did that as 2D platforming. I thought that was a smart idea to do. And the music in this movie by Brian Tyler, I really liked the music in this movie. It had the Mario theme in there, but it also had themes from like Super Mario 64 and Super Mario World, New Super Mario Brothers, and all the different Mario games were somehow incorporated into the score in those ways. And it was one of those things where it's like the score used the Mario theme multiple times, and especially at the end credits, you actually hear the dum 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 dum. But it was a little you actually hear the theme music. It was a little different than the games, but it was movie quality. So I actually really liked that. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. very much how the '93 movie does the dun 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 over the credits. I thought that was very, very cool, and I just love that. And actually, speaking of the music, the soundtrack didn't really bother me, like the actual soundtrack. Like when they used like AC/DC and Mr. Blue at the end, when they would play those songs, it didn't really bug me. I kind of expected that from a movie because I was like, okay, I don't know what music that they're going to use, but they're going to use some popular songs because that's just what you need to expect with a movie like this. Especially from Illumination, who I think that this is one of their better Illumination movies. So I think that, which I thought was funny, when they played Mr. Blue at the end, before the credits, I thought it was funny because Chris Pratt is Star-Lord in the Marvel movies, in Guardians 2, as they're trying to defeat that monster at the beginning, and Groot's dancing, they actually use Mr. Blue as the opening credit song, and Chris Pratt plays Mario in this movie, so I thought that was very funny, using the polar opposite of his characters in the movies that he's been in, using Mr. Blue as like the opening for Guardians 2, and then the closing song for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I thought that was very, very cool to hear. And I was actually going like singing the song with it, going like, "Shall be shining in the sky, there ain't no doubt in sight." And I thought that was really cool to hear that song. And I think that the other thing is too, the animation style is really good in this movie. Illumination has a very particular animation style, and I think that this one kind of did it in a way where it was like they made it look like a 3D Mario game, or like the later 3D Mario games than the early 90s ones. I thought that was very, very cool, but they also made it in a way that kind of designed it for the movie's sake, and not just, let's take the 3D models from the games and make it a movie. So I thought that was really, really cool. And also, I also really like how they split Mario and Luigi for most of the movie. Like, you get your typical Mario adventure in the Mushroom Kingdom with Mario, but then you have your, like, Luigi's Haunted Mansion stuff going on with Luigi while he's captured by Bowser, and that first scene where he doesn't know where he is, it feels very Luigi's Haunted Mansion. So, I like how you got, basically, you covered the typical Mario adventure with Mario and Peach and Toad, and then you covered like the Luigi's Haunted Mansion games with Luigi being captured by Bowser and stuff. I thought that was very, very dope. I really love seeing the Mario Kart scenes. Like, the fact that when that trailer came out, and even the third trailer, and it was very Mario Kart heavy, I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. Because I love Mario Kart as a kid, and I was a big fan of Mario Kart. So seeing it in the movie, and them like throwing the shells, and like Mario going on the Rainbow Road and battling all these Koopas out of the road and that sort of stuff, I was like, oh my god, this is so crazy, I love it. I guess my only negative with this movie is that it does have a bit of a sci-fi kind of element to it, but it needs to do that so it can make sense for the story that they're trying to tell in this movie. So, in that sense, I don't really have a gripe with this movie. So, I'm going to give the Super Mario Bros. Movie from 2023 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked this movie. It was a fun time at the theatre. The person that I took was sleeping almost the entire time and thought it was boring at times. So, I'll never take him to a movie theatre again. But I think that this movie is going to be watched over and over again by me, and I think that this is going to be one of the definitive video game movies, or one of the better adaptations of a video game character, as iconic as Mario is. So guys, please hit the like button down below if you haven't already, subscribe, also hit the little bell icon to get notified of future videos I make, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.